All right. I see it's now live streaming. So Ms. Jones, we are ready.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to John Lewis Invictus Academy's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you guys and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I'm pleased to call this meeting of the John Lewis Invictus Academy Go Team to order at 6:05 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take the roll.
Please respond present when your name is called. Mr. Ramon Garner, principal.
Present.
Ms. Taisha Laster, Cluster Advisory Team Representative. Ms. Kimberly Pruitt, parent.
Here.
Ms. Helen Sims, parent. Ms. Lanisa Hines, vice chair.
Present.
And I'm present. Ms. Leslie is present. Cabricia Rump, staff member. Thank you.
Present.
Ms. Rejoice Jones, chair.
Present.
Ms. Deborah Edelson, community member.
Present.
And Ms. Bree Kirkpatrick.
Present.
Swing seat. Thank you.
All right. This team will only be able to take official action if there is no quorum is present. Ms. Leslie, is there a quorum present?
Yes, there is a quorum present.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Oh no. Ms. Kirkpatrick, can you help me with this part? There isn't, my script is missing the quorum part.
Give me one moment.
Well, we've established a quorum, so we can proceed to action items.
Okay. Okay. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here, should have been sent in your email. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda. Ms. Leslie.
Will there be a second?
B. Kirkpatrick seconds the motion to approve.
All right, all in favor say aye.
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 So the secretary can record your vote. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Come on, public school.
Abstentions.
Thank you. Any abstentions? Please say abstain. Okay, we review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? Okay, if there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes?
I motion to approve.
Okay, I think I heard two people, so can I have a second?
B. Kirkpatrick seconds.
Awesome. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. All right, help me God. Any abstentions?
I'm going to abstain because I was not at the last meeting.
All right, the secretary will make a note of that. Thank you. And who was that? I'm sorry.
Ms. Edelson.
Apologies, Deborah. Sorry, Deborah Edelson. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, our first action item is, 1 second. All right.
Ms. City.
I can't see. Sorry.
Is it a mission vision work?
No,
Yes.
it's the introduction of the community Go Team member.
Okay. All right. So as you guys know, we had a full team with the exception of a second community member. And so there's a principal's duty to find a community member to be a part of our Go Team. With that, I took the initiative to reach out to our great partners over at the Grove Park Foundation, who have done a myriad of things for us so early within my principalship here, from providing opportunities for our parents and community members to have their rent paid or utility bills paid during this COVID-19 space, to donations to our staff for staff incentives, to donating 73 brand new devices for our students as well. And so because they've been so ingrained and so engulfed in our success, I did reach out to Ms. Edelson to ask if she would represent, to ask if she would be a part of our Go Team as a representative community member from Grove Park Foundation. Ms. Edelson, if you wanted to say anything.
No, just thank you and happy to be here to try and support you in any way I can. Appreciate all the hard work that you all do.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Leslie?
The-
Oh, I'm sorry. If this is the first meeting that Ms. Edelson's at, the team has to approve that nomination. So it is an action item.
Okay.
Um,
Got it.
So somebody needs to make a motion to approve, and then the rest of the team votes to approve or not approve. Like all in favor, say aye. All. So,
Well, may I
thank you.
have a motion to approve the new community member? If you agree, say yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have a second? Okay.
I second the
I
motion.
second.
Okay.
Garner?
all
Principal Garner, you can't.
I didn't think I
second
could. That's what I was.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So
I
can I have
second.
another second? Okay, thank you. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? All righty. Miss Leslie, we can approve the new community member.
It is noted that the new community member, Ms. Edelson, has been approved and is now a part of our Go Team.
Yay.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Welcome, Mrs. Edelson. The next action item is the rescheduling of the public comment meeting to May of 2021.
Can I take
All
a
right.
motion?
Just want to give the team a little background behind that. We actually missed our second Go Team meeting, which was scheduled to be in October. So that meeting had to be rescheduled. It was a public comment meeting, so we had to reschedule it. And looking at over the schedule, decided between the chair, myself, that the best time to put that meeting would be in May. So just wanted to give the team a little context behind why we were needed to reschedule the public comment meeting.
A motion to approve the rescheduling of the public comment meeting to May 2021.
Motion to approve.
Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions? It has been approved.
Thank you, Ms. Kirkpatrick.
My pleasure.
Okay. No, actually, I can't see it, so I
Okay.
can't see what's on the next one.
Action item 3 is the update the mission and vision statement.
Okay, great.
All right, so hopefully everyone had an opportunity to view the video from our district and our new strategic initiatives or plans that the district has put in place. And so with that, equity is going to be a really big area that our district focuses on moving forward from now through 2025. And so if I could have sharing rights, I wanted to share my screen. Ms. Bright, can you give me sharing rights, please?
You have them.
Okay. So the very first thing that I wanted to share with you, hopefully everyone can see this, is smaller. So in the top, well, very top, you can see my cursor. This is our district's mission. Well, this is the old district's mission. This has been updated now, along with our old cluster mission and vision. But here is our school, John Lewis Invictus Academy's mission. And I have to say that this was our mission with me stepping in. And so, you know, I think the good part about this is as a team, we can go in and redraft or recraft the mission. I've actually drafted a mission for us to take a look at that I will share for feedback in just a moment. But if you were able to look at the video, you could see that there were some tenets that went with the mission. And some really clear, concise questions that the mission should be able to answer, like how, who, and what. All right, and so it should be a concise statement. For us, our mission says to help our students be successful in their academics, social, and interpersonal endeavors. We at John Lewis Invictus Academy believe in the power of unity and interdependence within the community and place emphasis on preparing students for social change of life. And so let's stop sharing for a second and pull up another document. So with that, and I know we won't remember all of that, but this is one of the documents that was a part of the 15-minute video that you were asked to take a look at. And so this is our district's new mission. And it states through a caring culture of equity, trust, and collaboration. So how? It is through that caring culture of equity, trust, and collaboration. Who? Every student. And then what? We'll graduate ready for college, career, and life, right? So it's a very concise statement And it answers those questions very clearly. And so, you know, if we go back and take a look at our current mission, can we answer those questions? Who, what, how, what, and I'm sorry, how, who, and what? How, who, and what? So ours again is to help our students be successful in their academics. And I want you guys to give me some feedback on this. To help our students be successful in their academics, social, and interpersonal endeavors, we at John Lewis and Victus Academy believe in the power of unity and interdependence within the community and place emphasis on preparing students for social change of life. If we look at that statement, if you can see it, can we clearly answer who?
Our who would be our students.
Right? And then how?
Can you make it a little bigger?
Okay. I wanted to go out of the screen. Let me see if I can maneuver this. It's bigger now, but I need to get the right thing in view. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So the question is who, how, who, and what? So we know the who is our students. How? Do we answer that question in our current mission?
And one thing I like to add that I liked from the video is that we don't have to absolutely, you know, remake one. We can take out parts and it doesn't have to be solved today.
Right.
You know, this is something that we build upon, you know, just as we go, but well, probably not as we go, maybe the next one or the third one we should have it. But this is like the good brainstorming stage. So it doesn't have to be like perfect.
Right. And so, and that's a great segue. I mean, I think I do want to share something else because I've taken the liberty to kind of craft a mission statement based off of what the guidelines that the district gave, and then kind of like where I see our school going and how I see us being able to serve our students, right? And so can you guys see this? Is this big enough?
Yes.
So again, it's taking what the district said, it's the how, right? So again, we want to, the same way, through a caring culture of equity and pride. Pride are our core values for everybody that works in the building. You know, our core values are perseverance, respect, integrity, discipline, and excellence, right? So through a caring culture of equity and pride, the who is every student, and then the what is will be prepared to perform at their individual best. And so what I thought was important about the individual best is the fact that we know that we have students who are at varying performance levels as it relates to, you know, gaps, right? So we have some students who perform really well. Then we have disproportionate amount of our students who are performing below grade level. And so, you know, what I see our mission as being is, you know, not saying that every kid is going to leave our school doing the exact same thing, but what we do want to do is have systems and structures in place and personalize and customize the learning such that every student is well prepared to do their individual best. And when I say well prepared speaks to partnerships. It speaks to removing barriers through family engagement. So all of those things play a role in us being well prepared or well preparing our students. And so this is a draft of what I would like to see our mission statement to be. Any feedback or thoughts on this?
It's something in the background. Oh, okay. I just had one thing to say because I know I kind of rely on you guys for some of the bigger content things here because you guys are there every day. But the way I like to think about mission is like where you're going. So it's like the mission is where you're going, and the vision is how you get there, like the vehicle, the car, what's in it. And I want to kind of think more about the mission here and like rely on you guys for the vision because you guys know the tools and the everydays of what it takes. But looking at it like big mission picture, it looks like we're almost so close. And I guess adding some language about equity and kind of what we've been seeing post-COVID and what we know that the students will need to be successful will be like some good language to add.
Okay, thank you for that feedback.
Hey, this is Deborah Edelson. I think it's very strong. I think it's succinct and it says the who, how, and the what. I can't speak to the values of the school as well as you all know it, but from the perspective of having done a lot of mission statements in my life, I think this is tight and clear.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Based on the video I saw, I know the district mission is to, I guess, in the future, to increase percentages and close achievement gaps. I don't know if we want to be that specific or as far as tying into what their changes have been.
So the district has an overall mission statement that I shared. I'll go back to it in just a second. But I think what you're speaking to, Ms. Leslie, are like the mission, I guess, points that were at the very bottom. Let me just pull this document out really clear. 1 second. All right. So this statement right here, this is Atlanta Public Schools. Well, I'll go back. So this is the Atlanta Public Schools mission. This statement right here, this is the new crafted mission. Through a caring culture of equity, trust, and collaboration, every student will graduate ready for college, career, and life. That's the district's mission. Now, I think what Ms. Leslie is speaking to is this part, which is not very, you can't see it, but these are the priorities, right? So, it's hard for me to see, but I think what Ms. Leslie was just saying about closing gaps, measurable goals, focus on increasing the percentage and closing the gaps. So these are like, within that mission, here are some of the things that we are striving towards to be able to do, right? So we want to increase the percentage of closing the gaps. That's talking about CCRPI. That means we have a larger percentage of our kids compared to other kids who tested similar to them, that our kids have moved within that school year compared to their counterparts. That's how you get the closing gap score. So also we want to increase the amount of 8th grade students who are proficient or above in math. Those are the two that really kind of hone in to our work as a middle school. But I just want to be clear that the district does have, one mission, and that's this statement. And then they have one vision, which is a high-performance school district where students love to learn, educators inspire, families engage, and the community trust the system. So with our new superintendent, Dr. Herron, this is our new mission and vision as a district. So with that, a lot of the other things that we can be more specific about, like kind of like what Ms. Leslie said about closing the gaps, really focusing in on our literacy, um, and put goals to exactly what we are pressing towards, which is all already in our school improvement plan. But again, this is just a draft of what I believe could be our mission statement moving forward. And I kind of gave some background as to why I believe that this will be a strong mission statement based off of what our school priorities are and kind of what we're pushing to do. So Ms. Jones, we can, as you said, revisit, come back or add to. We don't have to have it completed, as you stated, this evening. But I did want to put a draft of a mission in hand so that we'd have something to go back and reference and maybe add to or change around.
I would like to suggest maybe replacing the word caring with intentional. I don't so much so like that it repeats what the overall APS mission is. So I would like to maybe hone in a little bit more intently and say intentional instead of caring culture, intentional culture.
Okay. So I think as Ms. Jones stated, what we can do, as the video stated, we could do as well is take this or not, can go back and draft a mission statement, and we can bring those to our next meeting and have something more tangible to work with. Or you could, again, take this and add to it, kind of like what Ms. Kirkpatrick said, change around, do some things, and we can decide as a Go team what our mission will be moving forward. But I do want us to be succinct again. It shouldn't be long. It shouldn't be wordy. It should not be long and wordy. It should address those three questions and address them very clearly. And those questions are how, who, and what.
All right. So can I make a motion to revisit to add this to our next meeting as an action item to finalize our mission and vision statement? Can I make a motion for that? Is that allowed? Okay, if everyone agrees, please say A. Yay.
Aye.
Yay. Yay.
Okay, I heard two, so that's a
Yay.
second. If anyone opposes, please say nay. All right, any abstentions? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to move on to our next action item, which is to approve the strategic plan priorities for this year, basically.
Okay. Also about the vision, we didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about that. I'm sorry, Ms. Jones, I meant to mention this, but also if we could bring samples of what our possible vision could be as well, based off of what we saw. And again, I always want to provide some guidance to you as it relates to where we're going as a school. And so I think listening to what our priorities are, which I'm about to speak about, can help in that work as well. All right.
All right.
So I wanted to share the school improvement plan. Do I need to do that right now, Ms. Jones? To talk about what the initiatives are? Is that where we're going?
It's the strategic plan priorities for this year. Yep, that's the next
Okay.
action item. Well, the last action item.
Okay. All right. Make this a little smaller. So again, this is our strategic plan. Again, it was it was, sorry about that. It's already drafted prior to my arrival, but I didn't do a lot of changes to it in this space because it does align to what our priorities are as it stands right now. And we have, 3 major priorities as a school right now in this space, and those are climate culture, the quality of teaching, and literacy. I'll say it again: climate culture, quality of teaching, and literacy. Those are our 3 main priorities that we are focused on this year. Now, in our school's plan, you can see school priorities under academic programming. And again, this is all on our website under the Go Team tab. So you can see our academic program priorities, our talent management, our systems and resources, and culture. So under school priorities, all right, we want to improve students' master of core content knowledge, ELA, math, science, and social studies. Close the achievement gap with regular education students and students with disabilities. We want to implement STEM-enriched curriculum to drive interdisciplinary and project-based teaching and learning approaches, and then prepare all students to have the essential life skills to be self-aware, collaborative, and accepting diversity. Now, the first 2 are kind of fall in line with what I said, the quality of teaching. I can speak to you guys a little bit about what we are currently doing as a school around quality of teaching. And so I have 2 of my instructional coaches that's a part of this team, Ms. Lanissa Hines and Ms. Bright. And what we are doing right now is we are focused on precise learning targets and exit tickets. Again, precise learning targets and exit tickets. We're using Paul Bambrick Santoyo's Get Better Faster as a guide. And so our instructional coaches and our admin team right now are engulfed in a book study, because what we want to do is have a common language around our systems and structures within our school. There has been 2 professional development sessions that have happened within the past 2 weeks around precise learning targets and exit tickets. And the purpose of that is our district curriculum guides, the units of study, give us our learning targets or objectives each day. They are aligned to the Georgia Performance Standards, which is what we are accountable for teaching every day as a school. The emphasis around exit tickets is to be sure that we have a formative assessment each day that assesses whether or not our students receive the information that they were supposed to receive for the day, right? And so it's all a cycle. It all aligns. Our teachers backwards map. We build the assessments that our students are going to be expected to be able to perform well on by the end of a unit. So that's where we start. Each time we start a unit, we have those assessments created. From there, we pull out what objectives we're teaching every day to have students be successful on those assessments. And then on a day-to-day basis, we have what we call an exit ticket, which assesses, did they get what they were supposed to get for that day, which is leading up to that assessment at the very end. Is that clear to everyone, or do I need to restate anything as it relates to that quality of teaching component?
No.
Very clear.
Is that very clear? Okay. So that is where we are right now as a school, and that's where we're focused on as it relates to that. We have a goal to ensure that we want to see at least 80% mastery each day on those exit tickets, and our teachers are using quick assessment tools that grade what we're doing for that immediate feedback, which aligns to helps inform what we're going to do that next day. As far as implementation of STEM, we're not there yet, especially in the COVID space. This is something that we are shooting towards, but right now we are, building our teaching capacity, and again, making sure that our students are getting what they need to get every day, and that it is standards based. I'll speak a little bit about our priority around talent management. And so one great thing that happened that I wasn't aware of is that when I first got the position as principal at John Lewis, we had over 20 vacancies. And so the team and I, we really came in and clearly defined what each administrative roles were. I had to be a part of every interview, which was quite a few to say the very least. But saying all of that to say that we have been recognized by our district as doing a fairly good job of hiring, the quality of the people who we were able to hire. And my team and I have been asked to actually to do a presentation for district principals on hiring virtually. So that'll be coming up in December. So, myself, assistant principal, Ms. Green, assistant principal, Mr. Fuller, will do a presentation for district principals on what exactly we did to have some measure of success with hiring. Now, I'll tell you this, like I'm gonna tell the principals, I'm a first-year principal, and so there's no way that I'm going in thinking that I'm gonna teach a bunch of veteran principals anything, but we're gonna just definitely share with them what we did.
I thought he was in his room.
A part of what we need to do is retain the maybe mute. One of the things that we want to do is definitely retain the quality staff that we have and the new members that we have. And so some of the things that we're doing to keep staff morale up is we have something that we're getting off the ground called the Pride Awards that we do once a month. And it is a system where our teachers have the opportunity to highlight themselves or highlight other people who they see, and it's tough in a virtual space, who are doing things well. And so one of the things that we do is we read. There's a form that staff can fill out, and it's open to all staff. There's a form that they fill out giving details of why they believe this individual should receive a Pride Award, and we share that with the entire staff each month when we do those awards. We also were having raffles until that got a little too expensive for us, but we had raffles every faculty meeting, which was every Monday, where we were giving out incentives to our teachers. In addition to that, so I spoke about the Climate and Culture Pride Awards for staff, but we also are doing the same thing for our students. And so every 4.5 weeks, grades are posted. We are identifying our kids who have all A's and B's, perfect attendance. But then we created a committee called Celebration, Joy, and Recognition Committee, which is built up of teachers within the school. And that committee came together and said, hey, what about some of the kids who are doing really well, who may not have straight A's or A's and B's? And so they created Pride Awards for each team. So each teacher within our building selects a student who they believe deserves a Pride Award, which ends up being roughly 60 students who will be recognized each time. We do class meetings after the 4.5 weeks that grades have been posted. And so our first iteration of that will be December the not the first, second, third, December 3rd, that Wednesday. We'll have a big presentation for all of the Pride Award winners. We also post, if you go to our website, you'll see the teachers who were the Pride Award winners on the website. Their certificates are there as well. And so we just want to be, again, intentional about incentives. We're doing a Thanksgiving drive-by on Thursday for staff who have elected to be a part, just so they always know that we're here to support them. In the areas of SEL, we do an SEL lesson each, social emotional learning. Each faculty meeting, each Monday, we have a SEL session, and students receive SEL through their elective courses. Every Friday, it is all SEL during the elective classes. And so those are some of the things that we're doing for culture. And then that last priority that I spoke about, which was literacy, really, literacy needs to be a part of everything that we do. One of the things that I am really keen on, and I'm actually having Ms. Bright to help us to monitor this, is we purchased a program called iReady, and really impressed by the data that iReady gives, because the data states that if a student engages with an iReady lesson 45 minutes a week, that you will see up to 2 grade levels of improvement. And so I've seen schools really use the program and really do really well with it. And it's personalized. And so remember, I was talking to you a little bit about, in the mission statement, students being able to do their individual best. Well, in our teachers' classes, and I'm sure Ms. Rumpf and Ms. Leslie can attest to this, you have students, again, with wide ranges of ability levels. And so if I'm teaching 7th grade, the standards are written at 7th grade, right? It's not written at if a kid is reading on a 2nd or a 3rd grade level. And it's hard. We expect our teachers to scaffold down and be able to differentiate to meet the needs of each individual student. I believe that they need support and help in that. And programs like iReady that give students a pre-assessment, and it prescribes a plan for that individual student that meets them where they are, is important. And so we have groups of students who take intervention courses in math and ELA. Those are student support team students who are at a tier 3. But we've also incorporated on Wednesdays live instruction that is iReady for in math and ELA. And so those students, we are guaranteeing that students are getting at least 45 minutes per week, every student, with that personalized program on Wednesdays. And we want to see the results of that. We have our STAR data that we gave at the very beginning of the year. We give it again in December. So I'll be really looking to measure if iReady is being effective. And I'll also be using Ms. Bright, as I stated, as a measuring stick, because she'll be giving me a report each week to say, this is our iReady usage. Here's how our kids are performing. So I know I said a whole lot, but within our 3 strategic priorities right now as it stands overall at the school: climate, culture, quality of teaching, and literacy. I'll give you a download of what we're doing and focused in on as a school for each one of those areas. Is there any clarifying questions or anything? Was I clear? Is there anything that you guys need to hear again?
Nope. Well, I will make a motion to approve the strategic plan just set before us by Mr. Garner. If I have any approvals, please say yay or A. Yay.
Yay.
Second.
I second.
Awesome. Any objections, please say nay. Any abstentions? Awesome. We can go ahead and approve that, Miss Leslie. All right. We are moving on to discussion items. So on the agenda for the first discussion item is strategic plan updates. I think basically we just went over that, right, Mr. Gardner?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Well, there are no strategic plan updates. So can we just go straight to discussion item number 2, which is ranking priorities in preparation for the budget?
Yes. I'm saying yes. Is that yeah? So budget season is right around the corner, and again, I can tell you that the admin team and I have a strong emphasis again on literacy. Literacy is going to be at the forefront of how we do things. We are in the in talks to, and this is something I'm sharing with you with you guys. I haven't shared it with the staff as of yet, but one of the things that we are trying to do, if we can support this financially, is create 5-man teams. What I mean by that is we currently have 4-man teams. So we have 1 teacher for math, ELA, social studies, and science. But because we have, again, a disproportionate over 60% of our students who read at a beginning level, there has to be an emphasis on literacy. And students need to have, a reading class every day. And so I'm looking to see if we can't create 5-man teams, which would be an additional 9 teachers to be able to add a reading teacher on each team. Now, what that does for us is a couple things. One, right, it lessens the class size, right? So now Ms. Rump's team has 100 kids divided by 4. It would be 100 kids divided by 5, which lessens the class size. 2, kids are now able to get reading every day, right? Reading is a class that you go to every day, and it is separate from ELA, which in my mind, my vision for that ELA class is that we could have a stronger emphasis on writing, right? Because we know that that's something that students sometimes struggle with. And so, so if we could create 5-man teams where we have a reading teacher on each team, that would be ideal. Again, we have over 100 staff members, and so you have to be able to afford that essentially. One great thing about APS though is that APS doesn't put restraints around you to say, oh, you have too many teachers. If you can afford to do it through your budget, then you can do it, which I appreciate the flexibility in that. If I am able to get that done this year, it would help our funding with remedial coding, because there has to be a certain amount of students within a classroom to be coded remedial and receive funding for that. So my plan or my idea is if I can get enough teachers to create these 5-man teams, then we will be okay to carry it on, because I would be able to have the class sizes small enough to have a lot more remedial coding, which draws funding or extra teachers for the school. So we will be able to sustain that plan. But that is the priority moving into next year right now is, how do we get literacy every day without kind of taking away something else. I've seen models where schools do, in middle school, especially because the Georgia milestone doesn't count towards your CCRPI score in science and social studies in 6th and 7th grade. I've seen schools take that time away from those courses in order to do things like literacy, like reading. But it's important to me that students receive science and social studies as well, the full amount that they are due to receive. And so that's our priority. If we can't get that amount of teachers added, then we'll go to the drawing board and see if we can do it 6th grade, and then, have a flexible schedule with the rest of the school. But there has to be, and there will be an emphasis on literacy at our school. And that'll
Okay.
drive it.
All right. So with that being said, I think that we can go ahead and approve a motion to approve the ranking priorities. All in favor? Well, can I have a motion to approve it?
Motion to approve.
All right. Can I have a second?
Second the motion.
Awesome. Any objections, please say nay. Any abstentions? I knew I was going to get that word. All right. We're going to move on to information items. What's the protocol if we go a little over?
So if you're going just a little over, it's usually not a problem. If it looks like you're running really late, then generally you take a motion to extend the meeting by a specific amount of time or until the business of the body has been dispensed. So if you're going strictly by Roberts, but since you're on information items, you're not going to be, I don't think your information items are going to take you significantly past 7. So you should be fine.
Okay. We're going to move to information items. The first being the principal's report.
All right, me again. All
Yep.
right, I won't be long-winded, guys. Try not to be. Principal's report. I do want to share 2 things with you. This again is, I was talking to you guys about some of the great work that Ms. Bright was doing. And so this is our new hot off the press JLIA instructional times. So this is all things instruction that's going to be coming out each week at our school. And this is great AP, Mrs. Lauren Lamont, who is our assistant principal for curriculum and instruction. And so a part of her team is Ms. Hines, who's on the call, and Ms. Bright. They work together along with our science coach, and Ms. Hines is our science coach, our social studies coach, Ms. Lang, and our ELA coach, Mr. Dallas, and our math coach, Ms. Graves. They make up a phenomenal young team of very talented, very talented, smart instructional coaches who coach our teachers. And so this is something that's coming out each week. The first edition was just really speaking to, that we have something new that we're gonna start sending out. But each one of our coaches, and it goes deeper in, I referenced this book, Paul Bambrick Santoyo's Get Better Faster. This is our guide, our reference that we are using as a school to create that consistency and common language that I spoke to earlier. And so what this does is it goes into more detail around some of the things that I was talking to you guys about around skill building, frameworks, and it talks to, what we've been doing right now, which is, again, writing precise learning targets and designing exit tickets. So again, this is to keep anybody abreast of what we're doing instructionally at our school. Ms. Bright has a bright tech tip that she is going to have each week. She's also very, very smart, very talented. We also have a spotlight on our teachers, which is something that can go to that culture piece. But these spotlights are coming from our instructional coaches, and the coaches are the people who are leading the PLCs each week, the professional learning communities, and that's where our teachers plan and do the hard work. And so this week it was Mr. Dupree for social studies. Mr. Dallas spotlighted Ms. Yolanda Smith in ELA. Math, Ms. Daniel spotlighted one of our special education teachers, Ms. Gresham. And then Ms. Hines, who's here on this team, she spotlighted science teacher, Mr. Tanks. And so within these spotlights, they all, speak specifically to what the teacher did. Ms. Hines, I don't want to, or Ms. I don't think Ms. Bright. Ms. Hines, you want to add anything to this?
Just simply, just wanted to add that this is I think that the overall instrument of using our instructional newsletter keeps our school body informed. It sets up our atmosphere of the transparent environment with the community as well as everybody in the school, so that we all can be abreast on the structures that we're moving forward to try to work towards to achieve those instructional goals that Mr. Garner was speaking of. And especially speaking to the highlight section, I think it, especially in the times that we're in, it really sheds a bright light on the efforts of our teammates that are really putting forth this grave effort to do the right thing by kids.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where will this be located on the regular? Where can people from the community, people in the school, parents, anyone come and see kind of the roundabout of what's happening in the school based on this?
Well, it was something that we emailed to staff, but I think Ms. Bright's on the call. We could definitely add it to the website.
Yes.
So
Yes, we can. I'm mentally working through where to strategically place it on our school's website. But in addition, well, for the public, yes, that would be the place, would be on our school's website.
Yep.
Awesome.
I also wanted to highlight just a few things too, like, in this COVID space, it's really hard. Well, I have no complaints. I won't say really hard. I think that, me coming in as a first year principal has really been a challenge to be as visible as I would like to be, because I don't get to see my kids every day. I don't get to see my teachers every day. I pop into different classrooms, but it's different. But what I will say is that I'm really impressed by is the effort that our teachers are giving every day. It's not perfect, but our teachers are really, they're in their PLCs every day. They're working hard. They're getting their lesson plans in on time. They're getting the feedback. They're going back. And again, our teachers are putting forth the effort. And I can tell you guys that I'm asking a lot of them. It's not, I'm asking a lot. And I realize that, but I also know that that's the only way, our kids need more. And so that's the only way to really, get to that point. But our teachers have been troopers thus far in this COVID space. They've really put in the work. So I did want to let the team know that people like Ms. Roth, again, I'm not just saying that because she's on the call, but really a sharp, great young talent that I'm happy to have on the team. That's not to say that we won't have any turnover at the end of this year. But we do have some strong teachers. My wife, like, where are you?
Okay. Thank you. The information.
One more thing though, I gotta say this, Ms. John. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I gotta show this. So I didn't know this, but Ms. Bright put me on let me know this. Nearpod. Nearpod is, well, Ms. Roth, you tell them what Nearpod is. I'm just talking. You tell them what Nearpod is.
Nearpod is an interactive site that we use to kind of relate information to the students so that we're not just lecturing to them, but it's a way that is engaging for the students, as well as seeing how well the students are paying attention to the lesson that we are teaching. So the students are able to get in and maneuver through and work through actually problems. So it's almost like a mini formative assessment to see how well they are getting the information that's being provided.
Thank you. And so with that, Nearpod is something that the district says that we need to use or should be using. And I just wanted to show you top schools within the district who have launched Nearpod lessons. So it's John Lewis Invictus Academy with 1,668 Nearpod lessons. The next school is Bunch Middle. And there are other platforms that schools can use. So not to say that schools aren't doing, but I was pleased to see this. And then the third is Mays High School. And then top teachers. So you have Miss Bean over at E Rivers, who has launched 134 Nearpod lessons. But then you have our very own in second place, Mr. Elbert Edwards, who has launched 122 Nearpod lessons, and then followed by a teacher over at Long Middle School. So that's the last thing, but I did want to highlight some of the good things that's taking place, and we'll see results of this moving forward.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so the next item is the APS calendar and the reopening plan.
Yeah. So right now our district is in the process of making those decisions. I had a principals meeting right before this meeting, but it got canceled until tomorrow. What I do know is we are preparing for a phased in approach in January. As it stands right, but the superintendent, again, ultimately makes the final decision on that. So I don't have a final decision as it relates to when school will open. Right now, what's been proposed is that teachers would return on the first week back in January. That second week would be elementary schools, and then that third week would be for us middle school students. So it would essentially give teachers an opportunity to come in, get set up, teach within a classroom virtually for a few weeks or a couple weeks, and then students would phase in for us. It's different for elementary schools. I'm just saying it off the top of my head. So we are preparing for a phased in approach, and we will be ready. There should be a survey that goes out to families. The intent to return surveys have to go back out again. We'll do a calling post. We'll do our due diligence to have our teachers call their home rooms, because if parents, I need everybody to know this, if parents don't do the survey, it defaults to virtual. So if you are interested in your child returning to some sort of hybrid model, you need to do the survey and elect that you are interested for a face-to-face option. If not, then you will remain virtual. And so that's the plan right now. As I find out more tomorrow and moving forward, we always communicate clearly with our families. But as it stands right now, the final decision will be made by our superintendent, but we are prepared and are preparing for a phased in approach beginning in January.
All right. This is not a meeting where we will have any public comments, so we're going to skip right over to announcements. Does anyone have any announcements?
No.
Okay. Well, I am going to announce the time and place for the next meeting. Wait a second. Mr. Kirkpatrick, you help me. When's the next one?
Give me one moment to pull my calendar up.
I have it. It's January 19th.
Okay. At 6 p.m.
Yep. 6 p.m. Yes.
Awesome. All right, guys, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
A motion to adjourn.
A second? A second?
I second.
Awesome. All in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Look, you guys taught me how to say a word by the end of the meeting. I'm not even stumbling. We know we're on some good teachers on this call. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Yeah, enjoy it. Yep, enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas, guys. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Happy holidays. And
You
thank
too.
you.
Mr.
Everyone
Jacoby.
stay safe. Yes, sir.
You too.